Welcome to the Illinois Administration Platform Test Management for Test Proctors and Test Support Staff video. Today's video will provide the steps to administer and access tests for spring 2025. This training is to be used in conjunction with the Test Proctor script and the IARISA computer-based and paper-based test administration and proctoring manual. Test proctors and test support staff are required to attend training provided by the school test coordinator and are expected to read the test proctor script and the test administration and proctoring manual at least 1 week before testing. The before, during, and after testing activities can be found in the test administration and proctoring manual. The test proctor script and the test administration and proctoring manual can be found on the Illinois support site at il.mypearsonsupport.com. Now, let's discuss the login process for proctors. The morning of testing, you will receive a proctor test ticket and student test tickets or print cards from the school test coordinator. Using the proctor test ticket provided by the school test coordinator, go to il.adamexam.com/hash/proctor. Then, enter the test code and proctor password from the ticket and select the Submit button. You will be prompted to read the proctor acknowledgement and agree that you have read the security agreement and understand your role as a testing proctor. You will only be prompted to fill out this agreement the first time you enter the Illinois Summative Administration platform. After entering your first and last name and reading the proctor acknowledgement, select the I agree checkbox. Select the Save button. You will then be allowed to view your dashboard. The proctor dashboard contains testing information including the test code, proctor password, and seal codes found under Actions in the top right of your screen. Now, let's discuss the login process for students. Students must first enter the test code. Entering the test code will allow students to join your proctor group. You can find the test code in the upper right corner of the dashboard on the Adam Exam site under Actions. If you have a smart board, you may select the expand arrows to the right of the test code to display the code for students using a smart board. Otherwise, copy the test code onto a board in the testing room where all students can clearly see it. Once students enter the test code, they must enter their last name and state identification number. Students will also need to enter a seal code into TestNav for the testing section. In this example, there are 3 seal codes, or 3 sections, in the Grade 6 math test. Copy the seal code of only the sections being tested onto a board in the testing room where all students can clearly see it. The student print card contains the student's last name and the student's state ID. Both will be entered into TestNav. After students open the TestNav app, the proctor script will instruct students to test their audio and microphone if needed. Then students will enter the test code that the test proctor has displayed at the front of the room and then select the Next button. Students do not need to capitalize the code to enter it into TestNav. The next screen will prompt the student to enter their last name and state ID as it appears on their student print card. Once the student enters their information and selects the Next button, they will be asked to confirm the test they are taking and their name. Students will confirm their test and their name, and then they will select the Next button. TestNav will load the test and wait for the proctor to approve tests before allowing students to test. Students will see this screen until the proctor allows access to begin testing. As students log on and get to the Waiting Approval, please wait for proctor to let you in screen in TestNav. The proctor will see students appear on the dashboard as needs attention. This is expected. At this time, the proctor will take out the list of accommodations the school test coordinator provided and verify accuracy of the accommodations assigned on the dashboard by hovering over the number beneath the accommodations column on the dashboard. After verifying student accommodations, the proctor may choose to individually approve the session for each student to test by clicking on the Kebab 3 dots menu to the right of each student under the Actions column. Or the proctor may choose to verify all student accommodations by selecting the Approve All Sessions option to have them begin simultaneously. After students are approved to test, students will be prompted to start the test by selecting the blue Start button. The next screen takes the students to the test directions of the first section, where they will enter the first seal code in the text box found at the bottom of the screen. Then, students may begin testing. In this example, 7 students are registered to take the grade 6 math test. 4 have been approved individually to begin testing. One of the students approved to test began testing, exited to take a break, and the test proctor reseated the student so that student could continue testing. 3 students are waiting to be approved in needs attention status. The proctor dashboard will account for each testing status using the following notifications. Not started. The student has not signed into the test. In progress. The student has signed into the test. Submitted. The student has completed the test and submitted their answers. Needs attention. The student requires action by the proctor, usually to be reseated. Reseated. The student has been reseated. Exited. The student has exited their test without submitting their answers. The test proctor should monitor student testing statuses across the test status dashboard. Tests not started by a student will show as not started or needs attention. Started sessions will show in progress, reseated, or exited. And when students have submitted a test, the test status will turn green and display a green check mark. Students may be reseated or resume testing individually using the kebab to the right of the student under the Actions column, or by group using the Reseat button under Group Actions. For more information on the testing process, review the test proctor script and the test administration and proctoring manual on the Illinois support site at il.mypearsonsupport.com. This concludes the Spring 2025 Test Proctor and Test Support Staff Training for the Illinois Assessment of Readiness and Science Assessment Administration.